Hello, I'm Gabriel Hernandez at Watcher DM and QuestGiver Games Limited, and I am going to be creating a tutorial for QuestCrawl. Part 1. Creating a character. To make a character in QuestCrawl, start by choosing a name, a suit, and a quest. Your quest can be anything you like. What's your character looking for? Then set your injuries to 0, your supplies to 20, and your treasure to 1. Now your character is ready to play. Part 2. Creating the island. To make an island, have each player roll a die to see who goes first. Place a joker somewhere in the play area. Each player then takes a turn placing a card face down, connecting to a territory that is already on the table. Once the whole deck has been dealt, the island is complete and ready to play. Part 3. Beginning the game. Place your party token on the face-up joker. Interact with this territory by reading the territory description. Once everyone is finished in the starting town, the party decides where to move. The current player flips the card face-up where the party has decided and moves the party token on top of it. Read the card description and resolve any challenges the party may face. Part 4. How to resolve challenges. A party challenge is resolved by each player separately. A champion challenge is only resolved by a single player. To resolve a challenge, note its challenge number. Usually, this is the face value. A player gets a die for their character and then applies bonuses from the suit or any items that they have. As an example, the party goes to Hardlands, the 8 of diamonds. Rusty Venture is the party nomad and has the diamond suit. Unfortunately, he does not have a compass. Rusty will roll 2d6, trying to beat an 8. He rolls a 3 and a 4. A 7 is not enough to beat the champion challenge. The party is lost in the Hardlands for a day. They remove supplies, and before the end of the turn, Jane Go trades her compass to Rusty for a treasure. The next day, Rusty rolls 3d6, getting a 4, a 3, and a 1. 8 is enough to leave the Hardlands next turn, but the 1 means Rusty has lost or damaged the compass. He removes it from his inventory before removing supplies and ending the turn. At the beginning of the game, you will place the party token on top of the joker that was initially placed at the beginning of island creation. And at this time, you can operate against the joker. So because everybody has treasure, they are actually able to buy items or trade for items in the initial town. Now, we all start with 20 supplies, meaning we can't hold any more supplies, so no purpose in buying that. But common items are a pretty practical use, especially if you're playing solo, in my case, or if you happen to be playing with fewer than a full party. So we can go ahead and give this character, we're going to use their treasure to purchase a compass so that if we were to get lost in Hardlands, we won't die. And we should be able to make our way out. So we'll go ahead and remove our 1 treasure. And then it's the first move, so we're going to go ahead and move to the first position. And to do that, we're going to flip this card right here. Ooh, this is the dwarves. So we attempt to move into the dwarves space. They are a faction. So it counts as a mountain, which means that we need to read the mountain description. Pass a champion challenge of 5 or return to the territory you came from. Success flips all adjacent territories. Suits don't give bonuses on mountains. Doesn't matter to us because we are spades. So we're going to go ahead and roll this d6. We got a 5. That's a success. The cool thing is we are now at a mountaintop, which means we can flip the cards around us. Oops. And this represents additional visibility by being up high in the mountains. So yeah, we can see a Hardlands up to the north. Oop, there's another mountain down here to the southeast. Okay, so we've got a couple of Hardlands around us. But what I do see that I especially like, well, I guess let's finish with the dwarves. So I can trade 1 treasure to move to a face-up mountain, or 3 treasures for an enchanted shield. Now, we don't have any more treasures. If you've defeated the elves, gain the Dwarven Tunnel Passport, which sounds pretty cool. For now, we're going to go ahead and end our turn, which just involves removing a single supply because we have no injuries. Now it's the next day, and we're going to go ahead and travel to the north. I think these dwarves are complaining about some forest beasties. These are terrible beasts. And so we'll do the terrible beasties segment of play. The player who flipped the card cries out, "Arg, it's a terrible beastie." Each player then describes an aspect of the beastie before rolling. So in this case, we're going to say this is a snake owl. It's a snake long body with an owl in its tail, and an owl's body at its tail, and an owl's head at its top. So it's kind of like a owl giraffe, really. And yeah, so we'll go ahead, and it's a club, so we don't have any bonuses to this. We just roll a d6. We rolled a 5. That is a success, meaning we get a treasure, which we'll add here. And we also get to roll. So success adds 1 treasure and rolls a die. We roll that die. We rolled a 1, which is nothing. We get no additional anything from that, which is fine. And then it's the end of the turn, so we remove 1 supplies, and we go to bed, and we wake up the next day. Now, we can go ahead, I think, and travel to the west here to do a little foraging. So foraging is good land. Succeed on this party challenge to add supplies equal to the roll. Failure has no cost. So we go ahead and roll a d6. We rolled a 2, which means we add 2 supplies, bringing us back up to 20. And then at the end of the day, we subtract 1, bringing us back to 19. Okay. I am feeling like maybe a little extra treasure isn't going to hurt anybody. I think we should go back and fight some more of these owl snakes. So we're going to go ahead and travel back here and fight them. We rolled a 3. That is, again, a success. So we get an additional treasure. And we roll a d6 for anything extra, which in this case we got a common item. So we'll roll a d6 for that. We got a 5. And if I look at the inventory and items, we'll find that that is healing herbs. So we can discard a healing herb to recover an injury. Very, very useful. So we can go ahead and put that in our inventory now. And now that we've gotten a couple of wins, a couple of treasures in the vault here, I feel like maybe it's time to go and stock up on some stuff. Yeah, maybe not. We're still all right for now. We'll remove the single supplies, and then I'm actually going to go back through the supplies through the Goodlands here and see if we can get some more foraging back. Great, we're back up to full on supplies. And then, of course, we lose 1 at the end of the turn. And then I think we're going to travel to this card right here. Oh, cool. It is another Goodlands. We will roll again. We get back up to full supplies. Excellent. And then go down again. And next, I think, this island kind of chain up here, it goes out into the ocean. I think I kind of want to explore that. Now, it's pretty risky to explore that, but I think we can find out if we get here and we hit some problems. So this is a good land, but this is a higher challenge good land. So if we roll a 6, we get a lot of supplies here. We rolled a 6, so we're back up to full supplies. I'm just not going to tick them because we lose 1 at the end of the round, and we also So this is actually a really great path to go because there's no downside to traveling up this way here. It's a really nice path to be able to get home. And then we're going to go ahead and flip this card and continue. Uh-oh. It's a Mega Beast. Okay. So a Mega Beast is bad. And the way that Mega Beasts work is... Here be dragons, or gigantic, laser-eyed crocodile moth gods. Your choice. Describe the Mega Beasts as if they were terrible beasties, letting each player go twice. So this is a giant sea sponge, I think, is what it is. And it absorbs things into it with its acidic external juices. So that's the kind of monster that it is, and it's enormous. So if we fail this champion challenge of 10, which we will because we have no additional die, we take 2 injuries. So we're just going to go ahead and just take 2 injuries real quick. All right, well, we've got a couple of treasures here, and we're about to lose some supplies. So we lose 3 supplies for the round. So we're going to go ahead and head back this way and just accept that Mega Beast has kind of beaten us. I'm going to roll a d6 for this territory. Okay, we rolled a 4, which is too bad. So we lose another 3 supplies for this turn. And then we're going to move back to here, which is a 2. Roll this. We got a 5, so that brings us up 5 supplies to 18. And then we lose 3, bringing us back down to 15. I think I'm going to continue going through 2s here just to be on the safe side. So we'll go ahead and roll a d6. Another 5. Excellent, excellent. I think that puts us up to 20, which brings us back down to 17. And then we're going to travel through this. We're going to go ahead and do one more whack at these guys to try and kind of shore up our treasure. We rolled a 3. Excellent. That's another win against these beasties, which means we have 3 treasures. And we rolled a 5, which is an extra treasure. So we get 1 additional treasure on a 5. Meaning we are at 4 treasures out of 6. We are laden with treasure, as it were. So I think what we want to do is head into the faction territory here. I'm going to roll a d6 to see if we can make it. Oh, you know what? I missed a step. We're still missing some hit points. So that's 4. We're at 14 before we get in here. We rolled a 3 trying to visit the dwarves. We were turned away at the mountain. We were unable to climb the mountain. Which means that at the end of this turn, we're back in the same spot. We're at 11 supplies, which is no bueno. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give that one more try. Oh, no! All right, so that is, we're down to 7 supplies. Oh, no. 8 supplies. We're losing 3 around. Okay, so I think it's time we just go and face these. So these are hill terrible beasties. It's a terrible beastie. And let's see. I think because this is a hill beastie, you know what I'm going to say? The hill is the beastie. Small mounds in the ground are actually mouths that open up and swallow up adventurers whole. So that is what the monster is. And we're going to go ahead and roll against this challenge. Yes, we rolled a 5. That's so good. Whew. All right. I was so worried. So we are now at 5 treasures, and we get to roll a treasure d6. We rolled a 1, no additions. We remove 3 supplies, bringing us down to 5. And now we are back home. And at home, we can spend 1 treasure to recover our injuries. That brings us back to 0. So you heal 3 injuries here, remove 3 injuries for 1 treasure. Also, because we're back to town, we get to roll a d6 to see what magic item is available for sale in the town. So we rolled a 4. Ooh, it's the bottomless bag. You know what? we're taking it. I think we're going to take it. I'm going to use up my treasure here to add a bottomless bag to my inventory. Now, what's cool is the bottomless bag actually changes my defaults. So, we're going to put bottomless bag. And then now we add 6, 7, 8, 9. So we now have a bunch more space in our bags. Now, it's worth noting here that I had the healing herb the whole time. I could have used that to recover an injury, and it might have been the right thing to do, but we didn't. So that's where it is. It's kind of important to remember that you have items, though, so don't be like me. All right, so we got the bottomless bag. Now, the last thing we need to do here is buy some supplies, I think. So we're going to spend our last treasure on supplies. It'll put us up to 15. And now, we've kind of got some space. So we've got a little bit of bag space here. And what I'd like to do is I'm going to go and kind of farm to the north here so we can get maybe some extra supplies here, maybe get some extra treasure here, and start getting some of the items we want, because we want to be able to climb these mountains with ease. We also want to be able to survive crises with ease. And at some point, we'd like to get ourselves an elven cloak so that we can kind of dodge out from the mega beasts. So we're going to go ahead and we get to the end of the turn. We use up a supply. And now we go ahead and we move back to the north. So we're going to face the 5 of hearts. It is again the hill monsters. And we rolled a 1, which does an injury to me. But I'm going to go ahead and use my healing herb and discard it, which just means removing it from your inventory to not take that injury. So we'll do that. And then we're going to go ahead and move. Oh, let's see. So we do lose 1 supply at the end here. Roll 20 is being a little slow. And we move up to the 3 here to go ahead and give it another whack. These are the owl snakes. Oh no, we rolled a 2. That means we take 1 injury here. Oh yeah, it's worth noting the max for... So some of these maximums have changed now. We now can carry 30 supplies, and we can now carry 9 treasure. And yeah, I think... so at the end of the turn, we lose 2 supplies. And now we can move over here to try and re-up on supplies. We rolled a 6. That's fantastic. So we add 6 supplies, and then we lose 2. We're going to move over here to do the same thing. And we rolled a 1. We didn't get anything, which sucks. So we're going to lose 2 supplies. And like I said, we're just going to kind of farm this a little bit here. So 3 puts us back at 16, brings us back down to 14. We're going to go back here, and we're going to try and farm this guy. Roll a 5, that's a kill. So we'll put 1 on there. And we roll a d6 for, we get another common item. And the common item is 4, which is, I think, the same thing we had before, right? Oh no, it's a map. So we discard to roll a die. We flip that many distant territories that are connected. So we're just going to go ahead and discard it immediately. And we're going to roll a d6 to find out how many territories we flip. We flip 5 of them. So I think what I'd like to know is what these 5 are that are closest to our town. Cool. Oh, that's super good to know. So that's a crisis. That's a hard land. I kind of want to avoid those until I've got better supplies for dealing with them. And yeah, I think we just go ahead and lose our 2 supplies here. And I want to go hit this Spades Mountain. I hear there's treasure hidden in that mountain. So I'm going to go through the 5 just for a chance to get some more. Oof, I rolled a 1. That sucks. So that means I take another injury, which means we lose 3 supplies. And then we travel to here. While we're in town, I'm going to go ahead and roll just to see. The 3 is the magic item that's available for sale, which would have been the Elven Cloak. Wish I had 3 treasures to get it. I don't. So, but I am going to use one of my treasures to heal my wounds so that we're okay. And now we're going to go for a treacherous climb to the mountains of the south here. And also, don't forget to remove supplies. So we roll a d6 against this mountain. We rolled a 2, so that turns us away back into town. So we are down to 7 supplies. And I think what we're going to do instead then is we're going to go over to this 2 here. And we're just going to roll. Okay, we got 3 supplies. So that brings us back up to 10. And we lose 1. And then we're going to try this mountain again. Yes! We got a 6. And it says here in the mountains that when the Ace of Spades mountain is first climbed, add 1 random magic item. So we get to that random magic items table, and we can roll a d6. And we got a 2, which is an enchanted shield. So now I can go ahead and Nop can add an enchanted shield to their list of items. Let's save changes for that. So whenever we're adding an injury from a terrible beastie, a mega beast, or a faction, I can roll on a die and prevent an injury, which is pretty useful. Close this. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and remove a supply here. And I'm going to go back to 2 so that we can try and re-up some more supplies, which we were successful at. So 13. And back down to 12. And then I want to... Oh, yeah. See, there's no adjacent territories to this. No connected territories that weren't already shown. But I'm going to climb this one so we can uncover some of these over here. So we're going to try climbing that. D6. 3 pushed back. Back down to we're down to 11. We're going to give it another go. Rolled a 6. That gets us up here. And that means we flip these cards. Oh no! Okay. So a couple things going on here. So the King of Spades is an unearthed evil, meaning this hardland is now going to fight like a beastie. Also, whatever's in there might fight like a beastie. And then this queen here, if it was my suit, it would be my quest. And I would have kind of achieved victory, or a victory at least. Unfortunately, I think with this Unearthed Evil here, it's going to be pretty challenging. And as you can see, the game kind of unfolds from here. The one thing I do want to kind of show real quick, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it, is what it looks like to go through Hardlands. So we move into the Hardlands and we become basically lost, and we need to roll out to get out. And so because we have a compass, we're going to roll 2 d6. So it's our 1 for being a being and 1 for the compass. Roll 2d6. We rolled an 8, which means on the next turn we are able to move out of the space. So we lose our supplies, and then on the next turn we can just go ahead and move. In this case, we're going to go ahead and move into the Joker, the hometown, where we'll go ahead and just roll to see what the magic item would be. Oh, it's going to be the sword. It's the magic sword. The magic sword is for sale in town. If I had treasures, I'd be buying that thing in a heartbeat. Magic sword gives you bonuses on beasties and all kinds of cool stuff. All right, so that's kind of a quick run through of how the game kind of plays. I hope you had a good time watching.